Britain and the Brexit and all of that. I have Ezekiel 37. I'm not going to talk about that. That's called Dry Bones in the Valley. Anybody ever heard that? Dry Bones in the Valley. That's, okay, if you got a poison book, just read Ezekiel 37. The dry bones in the valley. When a guy goes, he looks at all these dry bones. Can these dry bones live? And he told them, prophesied to them, and they got flesh to flesh, reconnected, jawbone connected to the backbone, all that stuff. It's really nice. Okay, I'm going to move toward a close. The title tonight is Strategic Behavior. All our behavior is strategic. I'm sorry, it's a strategic behavior. It's purposeful. Strategic behavior is purposeful. Our enemy is discombobulated, not us. And so far, for now, we don't see any reason to lose composure over none of it. We'll just continue to mosey along. That's what we're doing, just moseying along. Are there any questions or any comments about So you saw the part about Sheikh Zakzaki?
But I saw the same number that that's the highest report. I got one in Nigeria. They got one for 34 on here too. 34 and 34 killed right here. 34 killed in the attack on village in northwestern Nigeria.
Right. Yeah.
And on top, it got 8. Just killed Nigerian security forces killed 8 shield ones at
Arbain. Yeah, that's okay. That's the reason we put it off yesterday. We wanted to wait till all the stuff was in today. Just about us. One of the people, if he was here, y'all would all know him. He's a nice guy. But he said to me several years ago, he said, Imam Musa, if you had 200,000 followers, they'd have to kill you. Well, we just do what, when we get 200,000 followers, that'll be at the right time. Maybe right now or last week, Boss Man would have did. I didn't get time to tell him, don't worry about the brother. Because at that time I was 74 or something like that. I said, I done already beat everybody out that I know. The people that I'm around, their grandchildren has been killed. You know what I mean? I tell my son was the oldest one. What was he the other day? He was 56, I think, something like that. And the other was 53 or 52. I said, shoot, y'all done come through clean as a whistle. I said, what kind of photo albums you got? They've been saying for the last 30 years. He said, Dad, all our friends been dead long time ago. Right? So in the movement, it don't make no difference what moseying along sound like to everybody else. In fact, if we can get people to laugh at us, that'll even be better. So the more people laugh at you, the less they're not taking you serious. So that's why we play with ball, boss man. You wouldn't want to hurt old moles. We just playing, right? and he's steady going down, getting whooped to death. That's okay. Any questions, any comments?
Brother said, Assalamu alaikum, Brother Imam. You are loved, appreciated, and highly respected.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. At the same time, we just want to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give Allama Zakzaki and his community just tons of sabr. You know, just, he was making unity with preachers over there in Nigeria. And can you imagine? What they don't like is Allama Zakzaki has changed a whole Sunni crew, because he was already Allama Zakzaki. I mean, he been a teacher, a professor ever since I knew him, which is all back close to 40 years. No, that's what he been doing. He been doing that. And then he became Shia, openly Shia. And when I go to Iran, there's tons of Nigerians on the plane, sisters and brothers, going to Qum. And they're still independent. Because I brought up the subject, I said, oh, so you hooked up with, I was talking to his second in command, last time I was there. Second and third in command, it looked like. And we would be on the bus together, and they would get on the bus, so we would be there together, you know. And I mentioned something like what people would say about us here, you know, because they think if you're getting any help from Iran, you're controlled by them. It's, oh, no. They was emphatic about that. We're independent, you know. We're down with Shiism, but we're independent, you know. And you could see by the bootlickers how the bootlickers treated them. I said, hey, why don't y'all we'll go over there and try to help a little bit, do a little troubleshooting. It didn't happen. They had a few of the people who, street prayer and others, trying to go around. Everything is working out perfect, and I'll close with this. All the people that are using their power and authority against us and not helping us when they can, that's okay. You'll see them today, and they don't get invited if they, you know, just imagine who we're talking. They get invited to Syria, and they can't go. They say, you stay there with Medea Benjamin and them, right? And all this stuff in detail, we've been talking about it for a long time. We just wait till it happens. And I'll close with this, that's the beauty of watching history unfold. Watching it unfold. We can only put out what Allah give us, and the people, if they want it, they can take it. If they don't want it, it's not any of our business. We are not commissioned to make nobody recognize as four fingers in front of your face. You do what you want. Still four fingers, it don't have nothing to do with me. Yeah. Okay, there's a couple of things that I just mentioned. Some of what I want. There's some of the people, I saw one guy in Oakland, and he's a big store owner and stuff like that. He would lead the prayers for years, 20 years at least. And Mexicanos, Mexicans, youth are taking over, have taken over that area. So some say, I know it's not true. Some say his son was, you know, selling something around. And when Negroes was there, it's okay. But now there's Mexicans that a lot of people don't. And he had a $25,000 reward out for anybody that knew anything about his son getting killed or anything. He ain't heard nothing about it. If it was a Negro did it, he did. Somebody would have. This Mexicans is a tighter group, and they ain't gonna turn each other in or flip each other for. And then on top of that, 4 cousins, they was laid out on the street, blasted. I mean, I'm sure it was somebody did it. They were his relatives. Yeah, and he drove by the Masjid. I was on the other side of the street. And he was just perplexed. So last time I was out there, time before last, I told my son about it. And my son told him. I could tell by the way he's acting. Because tattletales, they communicate, you know. So, but it's halal for my sons to be tattletales. It's halal. No, it's just definitely, this is my opinion, because of the pressure that was put on them. Remember, they didn't sign up to do what I do. They was clear, we don't want to do that, Dad. That's hard. Because they used to travel all around the universities and everything, and they would come in and say, man, and then they go look at the pictures, Big Hank with all them cards. Now that's what they turned on. That turns them on. It turned them on. That's what they wanted to do. But I just told them, said, sorry, homeboys, I'm already through that. Hey, that's long gone. But some of the people that have a different relationship with things, like I told my youngest son, I said, yeah, so-and-so's having these kind of problems because of such and such. So when I went back to get my car, he was just drilling me. He couldn't ask me because it would go back to my son, you know. But why, why is these things, you know? He wanted to know. I don't know. But he want me to say it's because you've been a bad boy. Yeah, and he know it. It's all over, man. And it's technically it's killing him because everything that he was working toward, family and all that, and you know, and then they used to think a couple of things that would be happening would be almost funny. And these are the same guys I told them, you know, the other big building, the one that if you want to have, that building has room enough for a Latino masjid, and this part, these big sections, this big property, you guys could have that because there's Yemenis out there, a lot of them. You could have that for your center and whatever, and then we'd be down here, you know, whoever want to come up. And they could have khutbah in Spanish at the Mexican masjid, one in Arabic, you know. In other words, I'm telling them y'all could do all that yourself. You know, I said if you want to help on paying the taxes or something, you can, but we're offering it to you. Yeah, we did. We offered it to them. We said it in khutbah. Everybody heard it. Okay. Uh, in this case, it's best to do right or maybe take a vacation. I tell you, because see, we're not in control of what happened to people. You know, a lie is, I'm telling you, and it's not, uh, it's not like, if it looks like, oh, we don't have nothing, we're just manipulated by it, that's bullcrap. I'm telling you, that ain't happening. It haven't been happening since I don't know when.